tried to bring changes to the world. You tried to create a new world by harmonizing North America and South America. True parents. Your great vision is brightly shining on.
Thanks to heaven's blessings, the United States became the most powerful nation in the world within 200 years.
In 1965, True Father selected 55 holy grounds in the United States, including one at Twin Peaks, San Francisco. 7 years later, in 1971, he entered the United States through National Airport in Washington, D.C. He came as a doctor to save young people who were becoming ill through the free sex culture, and as a firefighter to put out a wildfire, rapidly spreading sympathy with communism. The activities of missionaries dispatched to the United States in 1959 formed a stepping stone for God's providence in America. Young adults and intellectuals were touched by the divine principle wherever it was taught. The rallies that were conducted revived the hearts of members and motivated them to witness. The word was proclaimed and the providence advanced. From the rallies in New York, at Madison Square Garden, and then at Yankee Stadium, and finally to the one at the Washington Monument, which attracted 300,000 people in 1976. Israel, the United States, and Korea can be regarded as three brothers in God's providence. The three brother nations must become one and join hands to restore the United Nations to its original purpose and function. They must contribute internally to the unification of world religions and externally to the unification of the world itself. The Washington Monument rally was instrumental in True Father being on the cover of Newsweek magazine and became a turning point in the providence in the United States. Forgive, love, unite. True Father's strong message received attention from not only representatives and senators, but also from ex-presidents and incumbent presidents, leading to visits and meetings with them. After the rally in Washington, D.C., True Father declared Moscow, USSR, as the location for the next rally. During the Cold War in the 1970s, Father proclaimed that communism would end. This was difficult to believe, even from the man who stood at the forefront of the victory over communism movement. 14 years later, however, this proclamation came true. This could come about thanks to diverse efforts to end the Cold War, including the Strategic Defense Initiative, media efforts including those of the Washington Times, meetings with top leaders, and other varied activities. For this foundation to be established, problems, large and small, had to be overcome, starting from racial discrimination and threats of attack, to Koreagate and unjust selective tax prosecution. Suffering could not be avoided. The international headquarters moved to Danbury, where Father was incarcerated.
July 20, 1984 is a day I truly want to erase. Until the moment he left, he encouraged us and aroused hope in us.
Repressing limitless sadness, True Mother commanded the providence for Father and did her best to spur development. The 6,000-year providence, a path that has been more difficult than climbing to the top of a Himalayan mountain barefoot. True parents followed this path, continuously enduring and overcoming ordeals in all fields worldwide, with true love that embraces and serves the enemy. The result of their endurance first shone in the academic field. established many ocean bases, including those in Kodiak Island, the state of Alabama, and the city of Las Vegas, which supply fish throughout the United States and to other countries. Powdered fish was also made with the intent to provide high-protein food to starving people. For maritime leisure sports, safe and effective fishing boats and leisure boats are being built and used. The international mass blessing ceremonies seek to establish God's people in both the physical and spiritual worlds. Individuals worldwide became couples through the blessing ceremony at Madison Square Garden. The blessing ceremony at the RFK Stadium in Washington, D.C. was unique in that for the first time, some people had a spouse not on earth, but in the spiritual world. Religious leaders such as Archbishop Myung have also received the blessing, and a World Peace Blessing ceremony was held in the United Nations New York headquarters. Internationally, our couples have been in the limelight as media outlets have interviewed our newlyweds, who spoke on topics such as transcending national barriers and engendering peace.
American hero, he's global. He started a peace movement, one of the only, I think, lasting and true and real peace movements in this world. And I think he's one of the greatest men I've ever met.
The United States was the door to the world. Manhattan, the heart of New York City. True Parents purchased the New Yorker Hotel in Manhattan, and after establishing it as the international headquarters, our Mission Foundation expanded to 194 countries. True Parents also went on speaking tours worldwide on many occasions. They proclaimed the completed Testament age, and they spoke in one country per day, going through a tight schedule night and day in order to open the new era.
Respected guests, the greatness of true love is that it enables us to become God's object partners and also enables God to become us. We can feel God's love by loving our countrymen, the people of the world, and creation.
Having preserved the mysteries of ancient times, Latin America has a vast treasure that heaven has blessed. Yet when the communist influence expanded in the 1980s, people in Latin America fell into great despair from the rising political confusion and from being under the pall of liberation theology. True Parents were a light of hope during those dark days in Latin America. Ladies and gentlemen, how can we bring together Protestantism and Catholicism? It is heaven's command that we practice a life of true love, clearly know the reality of the spiritual world, and establish true families, model ideal families. According to True Father, God's command was that Protestants and Catholics in the Americas harmonize and seek God's homeland. True Parents went to South America and established the Soccer Foundation as a peace initiative they hoped would lead to the unification of the two Koreas into a peaceful world. Exploring the huge Amazonian forest. As True Father prepared for the new millennium at the end of the 20th century, he took notice of Latin America's untouched natural environment. His vision was to create a new model hometown on Earth in a natural environment that has been kept intact and is untouched by the fall. The new Garden of Eden was established right between the Miranda River and the Prata River. From morning to late evening, he shared his vision of the Americas united and of a model ideal world through his teachings and love. Even reaching the more remote villages, True Father guided people on the future of humanity. An unknown land, untouched by civilization. Leda, Paraguay. In order to establish a settlement, Father held a workshop for the pioneers and offered conditions. Even though the extreme temperatures were enough to heat your Paraguayan government is also paying great attention to Leda, and the cheerful smiles of children within its school promise a bright future. The dream of the South American project was also planted in Uruguay. Father said the Uruguayan people were open-minded because they are well-read. They make up their own minds and ignore others' prejudices. I believe that all those of you who carry out activities within the interreligious group that Reverend Moon established know how much effort he invested in peace and coexistence throughout his life. Though I am not a religious man, I respect his vision of religious harmony. Hawaii, the center of the Pacific Rim era that connects the North and South. A place where true parents always offered conditions whenever they faced critical times in the providence. True Father not only envisioned bringing together the Americas, but also the East and West, and opening a new era after the coming of heaven. He invested everything as though burning through his life for such a bright, joyful tomorrow. September 3rd, 2012, the day of True Father's ascension. Members and visitors endlessly came from across the world to pay their respects. With the power of love, we will develop what you have built while shedding many tears. The truth you have expressed in words will bloom as flowers of peace. We will keep renewing our hearts so that our longing for you continues to live on. As we follow your teachings and emulate your actions, our pledge to carry on your legacy becomes clearer in our hearts. The essence of it resembles the radiant morning sun. It has been 2 years since True Father ascended after he perfected, concluded, and completed the providence of restoration. Starting from the proclamation of Foundation Day, the promulgation of the Cheonggyeok Constitution, and the compilation of the 3 volumes of the Cheonggyeok Scriptures, True Mother has been one with True Father in her effort to form the basis of the eternal Cheonggyeok. True Mother offered sincere conditions on alpine peaks for the establishment of a new heaven, a new earth, and a new era, forgiving all with a big heart, embracing everyone in love, and praying that we all unite. She is issuing the Cheonggyeok Scripture volumes to provide textbooks of the heart for humanity.
I will give you the motto we are to aim for until 2020. Let us become true owners of Cheonggyeok who practice true love in resemblance to our Creator, the Heavenly Parent. We are the Unification Family. We are one family. With this motto in mind, let us all fulfill it with one heart, united in determination wherever we are.
Cheonggyeok, a beautiful world where God, people, and nature harmonize in true love. Just as true parents worked miracles in the Americas, let us all achieve the miracle of Cheonggyeok. ascension, we strengthen our determination to achieve the new world of Cheonil.